Hey guys, so I'm still trying to get this whole camera situation sorted out. I'm using my MacBook camera. Apparently, there's still a lag on it when I record my videos. I'm using the regular photo booth to record my videos. If anybody knows any really inexpensive or free ways to avoid this, preferably easy ones, to fix the lag and improve the video quality, I would really appreciate it. Um, yeah, I also got a mic laying around somewhere. I just realized. So I'll get that. Try and bring some higher quality content to you guys. But today, I want to share something that I'm pretty excited about, and I've been wanting to share for a while. I think it's kind of a little bit of a unique message in a way, but still coming from the whole high carb vegan movement. And I just want to share what I've discovered recently, or the food that I've discovered recently, that has really kind of been a lifesaver for me, and I've really been kind of starting to use it as like my main staple food in my diet. Obviously, people recommend eating a wide variety of plant foods, but we need something that works that we can do day in, day out. And for some people, it's bananas. For the people out in the East, it's rice, corn, potatoes, whatever their staple food is. Here for me in New England in the wintertime, I don't do well on bananas personally. They constipate me, and I was eating a lot of white rice before. It's actually a little bit addicting. I've been putting like no salt added tomato sauce on it with spices. I think that's great if you're trying to transition to a high carb vegan diet. But for me now, I want to start centering my diet more on whole foods. Maybe not go 100% whole foods because I still like my juices. I still like to use dried fruit sometimes. It's tasty and it works. But anyway, this one food that has been the center of my diet, I'm eating it right now. Christmas Day, well, it's the evening of Christmas Day now, about 9:15 p.m. I'm going to be trying to get to bed pretty soon. Got work tomorrow, back to the grind. I had a nice couple days off. Hope you guys all enjoyed the holidays. And yeah, in case you couldn't tell, I got a couple left here. Just been smashing in the sweet potatoes all day. I also had some white potatoes, which I like them, especially the organic ones have some flavor that is just totally lacking in the conventional white potatoes. I mean, it's like night and day. There's organic white potatoes that taste good and have kind of a nice flavor, and the conventional ones just don't really have any taste at all, except maybe like some people notice like a little bit of a chemical kind of taste, and I don't think I'm going back to the conventional white potatoes. These are conventional sweet potatoes, and they taste okay for me. I cook them really, really well. I mean, I let them overcook, and for me, that way they digest better, they taste better. There's no weird little gritty chunks that kind of like, I don't know, it kind of grosses me out. So I just cook the hell out of these sweet potatoes, and they're kind of heavy, but they have like a lot of water content in them, and you can just see the tiny little fibers if you're looking through them. It's too small to see on the camera, but as you pull it apart, I mean, if you eat sweet potatoes at all, you'll know. But I just want to encourage people to get more into the sweet potatoes, especially if you're living in a cold climate and you're trying to transition to a high carb raw vegan diet. For life, this isn't like some kind of fad diet or bullshit like that. This isn't some kind of like lose weight quick thing. In fact, a lot of people gain weight when they start eating this way. But the idea is to kind of like get your metabolism going, get your fitness up, and this is the way that the world's best athletes eat. I'm talking high carb, low fat, low protein, low sodium, plant based, 100% vegan. It's the way that, like, I'm not going to name names here because there's just too many people that are just really succeeding on this kind of way of eating, this lifestyle, and it also has awesome ethical benefits as well as the health benefits the fitness benefits. So if you haven't heard the whole message before, there it is. It takes a minute to kind of recite, but once you get it, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. That's the way humans are meant to eat. So once again, the high carb vegan way is totally the best way to eat. I'll put a couple links down below for some places where you can check out people succeeding on it. Generally, like, the idea is that raw foods are ideal to eat, like pretty much like raw fruits and vegetables, a little bit of nuts and seeds. That's all you need, and that's really the best, most optimal way to get nutrition into your body. But we don't really live in that world. We live in a monetized society right now. We're trying to transition away from that as quick as possible. I know, like me personally, I intend to take some major steps pretty soon. Now that I've got like a little bit of a financial nest egg, just enough so I can feel secure, making a couple leaps of faith in my life. Not going to get into that right now, but I really want to encourage people to dream big, step outside your comfort zone, and don't let money become an object. Do what you want to do in life now. If you want to go live in a tropical paradise with fruit trees everywhere, then that's what you got to do, and you don't need to worry about your status, your position in that. You just need to go do it. Easier said than done, I suppose, but the people that succeed at it will always, 100% of the time tell you just the opposite. So, why am I recommending these sweet potatoes as the number one go-to food for myself and possibly for other two-legged, walking, speaking creatures like me? Well, for one, they digest really well. They taste almost like fruit, too. Like, what other cooked food that isn't fruit do you know of that tastes like fruit and digests like fruit and has a water content like fruit and has a color? Unlike other starches, has a color, it has flavor. Most starches are tasteless. You need to add like I was saying, the tomato sauce, the spices, which is cool. I think that, if you want to get onto like the vegan way and just realize like how easy it is to eat this way, the high carb, low fat, low protein, low sodium, vegan, mostly whole foods, if you can, way of eating, it's super easy, especially with, like I said, a little tomato sauce and spices. That way you're getting your sodium covered, which, is kind of a difficult issue, getting in enough sodium when you're eating a whole foods, plant-based diet. And if you just include like some cooked tomatoes, like boom, your sodium's covered. It's easy to get too much, actually. So the salt cravings are a non-issue for me, always. I never, ever in my life have craved salt. I've craved salty foods that are high in sodium, like the tomato sauce, with the spices too. I've craved stimulating things, but you never need to eat salt. Please don't eat salt. You don't need to. I mean, if you want to, that's fine. Just like limit it, limit it, and try the tomato sauce because it's a food. It actually has like nutrients. It's not rocks. I don't think anybody needs rocks in their diet. But who am I to talk? I'm no expert. I just want to. I'm going to be doing it in more videos too because this is going to be the center of my diet for the whole winter until the good fruit starts coming out. Obviously, like I'm going to be having my Gatorade in the morning pretty often. I'm going to be doing like whatever else, but I'm trying to eat less of my like white rice with tomato sauce type thing, and I'm trying to get more towards a whole foods thing, like sweet potatoes, and I'm trying to get more greens in as my source of sodium because that way I'll be getting more of the other, vital essential minerals, and that's really the only sustainable way to do it, in my opinion, because I think if I kept on going with the old spaghetti scheme, eventually I'd probably run into some deficiencies. But if you're getting enough greens, it's the leafy green vegetables that no matter where you're coming from, even if you're one of those like ketogenic like paleo people or whatever, the greens are always like super crucial. So And since I've been increasing my greens, I've had like super increases in energy, like you wouldn't believe. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, the biggest recommendation I can give if you're trying to go vegan is you got to get your carbs in. I'll say that again. The number one thing you need to do to succeed on a vegan lifestyle is getting enough carbohydrates, getting enough sugar to your cells. That's like the most important, and that's gonna be the biggest difference. That's gonna be the biggest benefit you get from becoming vegan is the carbohydrate boost, and the reduction in the fat that's gonna slow you down. Not like you shouldn't eat fat. Not that fat's bad, just in the right amounts. And whole plant foods tend to, have just the perfect amount of carbs, protein, and fat, pretty much. So many people succeed long term for years and years and years. Like look at, Doug Graham, Neil Bernard, I don't know, Caldwell Esselstyn, John McDougall. Those people are like really succeeding with like less than 5% of their calories from fat. Maybe like maybe you should have some nuts and seeds. I don't know. Like every once in a while, I've been like looking forward to like having some sprouted chia seeds pretty soon. But I've been eating this way for like 9 months, I think, and haven't had like any overt fats, and I feel fine. I mean, I've definitely just had nothing but improvements, and especially since I've been upping the whole plant foods, the whole foods. That's just really key. When you're eating like refined foods, you're gonna get less of all the other things that the food has to offer. So it makes sense. You don't need to be like a super genius to understand this stuff. And you don't need to like have a ton of information. It's really just kind of common sense. But it helps when you're in an argument or whatever, if you want to like debate with people, or especially just for like giving advice, which I think everybody should do once they've been succeeding for a little while, or at least just share your experience. That's really important, and that's what this movement needs. We all need to spread the message of health, right? So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Like that's where I'm at. Been transitioning to the whole foods, plant-based diet, and the ultimate goal is like 100% raw foods, but it's just it's not like part of my life right now. It doesn't make sense for me to eat like 100% raw food. If I did that, I would just crash. So that's why transitioning is awesome. And yeah, so if you really want to take your health to the next level, and you're willing to deal with your cravings and stuff, this is something that anybody in the world can, anybody who's watching this can like incorporate into their lifestyles, making sweet potatoes a central part of their diet. And I promise, if you don't eat the salt, the oil, the animal products, the fish or whatever, whatever, like drugs and stuff, if you're not fucking around with that stuff, and you decide, okay, I'm gonna like give this sweet potato thing a try. Just try the sweet potatoes. Have whatever else you want on hand, the fruit and stuff. Like especially, I'm gonna make a video tomorrow morning. Hopefully, I'll be up early enough. Make a video about Gatorade. That is like probably the other food that I eat the most of in the world is Gatorade. So I'm not gonna tell you what that is now. If you're interested, just stay tuned. Check out the next video. Totally awesome food, and it's like 100% raw, even though the dates might be steamed or they're a little bit dried out. It's a super great staple food. But yeah, this video is getting a little bit too long. If you stick to the sweet potato thing and you try and get your greens in, it might cost you like a little bit more money than the cheapest way to eat in the entire world. But I live on slave wages, and I can afford it for sure. Just yeah, do what you can. Try dumpster diving too. You can get some like greens out of the dumpster, and if they're not like the most vibrant living stuff ever, like maybe just try putting them in a smoothie or something. Um, I'm fortunate enough to have like a really cheap juicer, which I think is better than an expensive one because it like leaves some of the fiber in the juice anyway. So you can get like a super cheap juicer and juice some of those greens, which I think is cool. I wouldn't juice fruit because I feel like the fiber is like an important part of the fruit, but I see the greens more as medicine anyway. Yeah, okay, so I don't want to ramble too much. Try making sweet potatoes a center of your diet. Maybe I might even just I mean, literally eat nothing but sweet potatoes for like a few weeks and document that for you guys just to see like what happens. I would end up feeling pretty great. I might deal with some like salt cravings, um, but I don't know. I want to see what happens, because I'd be like way less stimulating and stuff because I've been eating a lot of spices and that kind of stimulation is like a little bit addictive, and not necessary. But yeah, I'll like try and put some more insight into that and like maybe what the causes of that are because I know a lot of people are dealing with with the cravings, and it seems like oh cravings like no you don't have cravings your body just needs this and there's a lot of there's a lot of different perspectives on that, but I want to be really clear and objective about the issue of cravings. So yeah, I might give that a try. I might try monoing on sweet potatoes for a while. I've been thinking about it. And yeah, I would also just like include as much greens as I can. But I would be on pretty much like, as far as calories go, my calories would be coming from all cooked food, aka sweet potatoes, 100%. And the only raw food I would be eating would be the greens. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. This just sweet potatoes and greens for a while. And I think I could probably pull it off for a long time, and it would be super cheap, but like intensely healthy. And that, yeah, I've been trying to think of ways to get through the wintertime into the springtime when all the fruits start coming out, and then you can just like feast on a wide variety of fruits like we're meant to. But this is like a awesome backup plan, and as a matter of fact, as life goes on and the world keeps turning up in New England where I just don't know where I can get some like ripe fruit. I mean, like all the fruit in the grocery store is just shit. I've got some mangoes over here. A little on the expensive side. Too expensive to make my staple. They're clearly unripe. I mean, they're all right. I'm waiting for them to ripen. They're gonna be good, but yeah, a little too expensive for me. So they're kind of a side little food item. But yeah, try including like loads and loads of sweet potatoes, and actually like if you can weigh your food. I'll I'll show you how many calories I'm eating and what that looks like in terms of volume, and so that way, if you're interested in eating tons and tons of sweet potatoes like I've been doing and just really enjoying, um, uh, yeah, you can give it a try and you'll know what's going on. Not that I know like some people don't want to count their calories, which is great if you're like really used to what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you can just kind of eyeball it and like know. But it's good to like know how much food you're eating. Kind of, we live in a world where we we're kind of disconnected from our food. We got to be honest with ourselves, and like it's hard to know when you're hungry as well. That's another thing. Like it's really hard to know like when you're hungry because it's hard to like take an outsider's perspective on your moods and stuff. Um, and like maybe you're at work and you're just kind of like not in a great mood. You don't really notice it. You're just like, I'm not in a great mood, And then lunchtime comes around. You eat lunch. You digest for half an hour or so at the most, and then all of a sudden you're in a way better mood, and it's like, oh yeah, like I'm glad I ate something, but maybe you didn't eat enough. You didn't eat enough calories, and who knew? And 2 hours later, you're just not in a great mood again. You're like, oh man, I'm getting tired. Then you go home and you have some food, and until the evening time, you have a lot of energy. It's happened to me a million times. Like it's really important to get enough carbs in. Number one tip for going vegan: get enough carbs. So, God, it's 20 minutes now. If you guys listen to this whole thing, like, thanks a lot. I'm going to have a lot more objective advice. I'm going to take this journey with you guys. Once again, representing the sweet potatoes. They taste so good. So reliable. I don't want to be like the guy that's promoting cooked food or anything, but like, you can't. This is a transition food. This is a transition food. This is the real backup plan. If you're eating like rice, you're gonna get stuck somewhere. The sweet potatoes, boom, like it cravings wise helps you increase your appetite for fruit, for the best food, because it tastes just like fruit. And it's just so good for you. I don't care what anybody says. Sweet potatoes are in a league of their own. They're not the same as other starches at all. If you know of any other cooked starch backup plans that are really inexpensive and reliable, please message me personally. Make a response video. Make sure I see it. Regardless, please. If you know any foods that are as cheap, as reliable, and as effective as sweet potatoes or more, let me know. Make a video about it. Represent your favorite food. That's what this is about. That's what my next few videos are going to be about, and that's going to be a main thing I'm doing here is kind of like representing my favorite food, and so that way we can together we can create demand for the healthiest foods on the planet, which are whole plant foods, and that's how we can change the world. Peace and plants to you all, and keep spreading the message of health.